Just yo, was talking some real life stuff, yeah? Big up one shot. Look, yo. Pen to paper, trying to make sense of my thoughts, I'm feeling distant. Lately I've been feeling the pressure, it's like I'm breaking. Now it's like I'm facing my worst fucking fear, going back to depression. Tried to explain to my dad, but he don't get me, he just thinks that I'm a liar in fact. So I don't get how I'm meant to open up when I can't even open up to him. Think I'm showing weakness, you're crazy, I'ma hold it in. You only hear about it when I hold a pen. The day I see a therapist is when I hold a skeng, to empty out my brain so that everyone can see what was on my... Look, I'll never do it. Kids counting on me like the...
Welcome to episode 3 of Eye to Eye, Air and Electricity's colloquial timestamp. And today we have Isaiah. Yeah.
That's right.
So like Isaiah, you're a very lyrical rapper. Like your wordplay is insane. How long have you been like rapping? Like
I've been rapping since I say I was the age of 15, but I'd started taking it somewhat seriously when I was 17.
okay. Would you say that at this point in time you're a master of your craft?
Ooh, I always believe that there's levels, like there's always deeper levels that you can find. So I won't sit here and say, oh, I'm the best. I'm the best that I am. I'm the best I can be at this moment, but I know there's levels that I can still reach in the future. But I do believe I'm the best in the world at, what I do. So there's no question in my mind.
As you should. So like obviously what currently in quarantine, what were you kind of doing musically before quarantine, and how has like lockdown kind of halted your plans, or how has it helped you with some of your creative process?
What I was doing before quarantine, I was going to studio, I was recording songs, I was working on a project, and I was starting to do shows. Pardon?
Was the project you're working on Glowing Dark EP?
Ooh, you know what? I can't say too much about names and release dates and stuff because there's still a lot of things in the works. But we'll see what the project is. We'll see what it is. But I was starting to do live shows, which was really fun because I got to test out a couple of the songs which I've recorded and see how it kind of reciprocates when I perform them live. And the energy was amazing. I was on such a high and I just wanted to run with it. But then lockdown happened. But in a way, lockdown hasn't held back anything when I think about it. If anything, I know I can't perform or go studio as regularly, but it's helped me to really sit down, internalize, and just like really think about my ideas and about the execution of things. And it's really it's took me back to basics, not being so caught up in all the lights and everything, just sitting down with my pen and my pad and just doing what I do. So quarantine is like a blessing in disguise, really.
Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, we had like DJ producer on yesterday, and he said something similar, like where as a creative you kind of have like an outlet to keep you on like a straight line during like these times.
Yeah.
So you've kind of told us about what you're doing currently and what you're doing before. What do you have like planned for like straight after lockdown ends? Like, what's gonna be the first things you're wanting to do?
Ooh, straight after lockdown ends. I definitely want to get back out there on the live circuit. So I definitely want to continue performing live, meeting people, seeing how my songs translate. Because the number one thing for me is impact. And I can't get this out of my head because there was an artist called Shocker. He released a project called I think Impact Over Numbers, and like that's just been stuck in my head because it's cool to release music, watch all the numbers and watch all the views, but I like impact. So I like performing my songs live and people telling me that they were nearly swayed to tears, or it reminds me of this point in life, or it kind of tells them that they want to start doing something with themselves. That's what I like about music, impact. So I want to get back on the live circuit, see the impact, talk to the people, and that's the main thing for me, because you can release music whether in lockdown or no lockdown. So the main thing for me, getting back out there with the community. So
I hear you. from what I've heard of your music, it's definitely like on the motivational end. And like even the first time I met you, I don't know if you remember, but I remember you mentioned that like you wanted to do a rap on a drill beat, but of like
Mm.
more positive content.
Yeah.
Like, where does this come from? Like, that you want to inspire? Like, is this just how you've always been, or through music you've kind of found this?
I think it's always been there. It's always been there. There's definitely my upbringing. I say there's aspects of my upbringing that kind of
Mm.
make it there. I got a lot of faith in God. Um, I've always cared about my culture and my history, and how that and my identity as a black man in London, as a black
Yeah,
person in London, and I don't know. It feels very inherent. I can't describe where it's come
yeah.
from. When something's just always been with you, it doesn't come from anywhere outside of you. It's just so I've always just had this thing to kind of like boost people to where they need to be and where they're destined to be. So
So you said you've been like rapping since you were like 15, and then 17 you start taking it seriously. What's
mm.
like kind of progression that's taken place over those years? Like, how many songs have you released, or like wanting to release, and how many like performances have you done?
So here's the interesting thing. I've wrote
Yeah,
so many songs. I've performed. I've even been on radio at one point. But at
nice.
the moment, I do have music out, but I don't really count music on SoundCloud as music
Oh yeah,
out. I'm trying to get on, and I'm getting on Spotify and like iTunes and all those things. But in terms of the progression,
mm,
with the pen, that I've been working. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
because something that I've noticed with this generation, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's an observation.
yeah.
Um, a lot of people, they get the recognition or they come into the spotlight before they've mastered the craft.
That's so
So
true.
I feel like with me, what I've done, despite any potential that I feel I may have, I've really sat down and make sure I've like mastered everything to the best that I can before putting out music. So at the moment, I don't have any. I have so many songs written, but I don't have anything on the major platforms yet. I'm on SoundCloud, but like I said, the stuff that's gonna hit the major platforms, that's what I'm really excited about. So.
Nice, nice. You were talking about pen and like penmanship and writing, and I've seen
Mm.
your other collective like Writers Block 141, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what's kind of like that collective got to do with you as an artist? Like, how do you guys collaborate? What are they doing over there?
So what I'd have to say about writer's block, that's something that's very premature and
Yeah.
still in the works. And I'm even gonna change its name in the near future.
Oh, are you the founder of the collective?
But yeah, and it's not even a full collective yet. So right at the moment, it's just an idea that's just floating around.
Yeah.
But the main collective that I'm part of,
Hmm.
which unfortunately that's something I can't speak on too much as well.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of this stuff is to come, just speaking things into existence.
Maybe
It's
next time.
yeah, is Legacy.
Okay.
Legacy, it consists of three rappers, including myself. So that's myself, Just Isaiah,
Hmm.
Feroz, who's got a single and a music video for Handy, which is amazing and out now,
Yeah.
and Dread. So us three together are Legacy, and so everyone knows how good I am with my pen.
Hmm.
These are equal to me. They can rival me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when we link up together, we do a madness, but that requires a whole separate interview on its own. But
Okay.
yeah, regarding what is now called Writer's Block, but like I said, I'll change the name. All I want that to be in the future, once it's more developed, once I'm more on my feet, is just a hub for different creators and different artists to shine. Because I don't really remember having that when I was younger. So I kind of want to give people what I didn't have, whether it's kind of like studio time, advice, or connections. Just forming a kind of like a network and just a family, that
That
can
sounds
support.
dope. So, like, being from East London,
Mm.
do you think that's like a big part of how you make music?
Um, is
Or
it a
even
big?
just being from London in general? Because you talked about like your upbringing and like your roots, like being what makes you quite a positive artist. But like
Yeah.
being from London or East London specifically, do you think it's second thought or it's directly related to how you make music?
I think I can't ignore how growing up in
Yeah,
London has affected my music. It's affected a lot of people's music in different ways, but as for how it's affected me, and probably why I like having that kind of positive and vibes outlook on my music. I think growing up in East, I used to live in Newham. I lived in Newham for a short time.
yeah,
Well, a couple of years, I say short, but yeah. And around that time, I was living in Newham. To be honest, it still happens now. A lot of violence, a lot of deaths. I was never involved in that lifestyle, so I can only look at it on the
so it's
outside.
almost like a good kid, mad city perspective, where like you witnessed there, but then you weren't directly involved in it.
Exactly. Good kid, mad city. Because my parents, I won't lie. My upbringing was good. I can't even lie.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
both my parents were around. Both of them were working. Never wanted for anything, so it was cool. But yeah, it's just where we were living at the time. So a lot of kids, died. The potential cut short when they could have been something, and that always breaks my heart when someone could have they could have turned everything around, but they got robbed of a chance. I think that's the biggest
yeah.
injustice, to be robbed of your chance to be great. So that kind of motivated me to have a positive stuff on my pen, and then just a lot of my memories from East London, not just Newham, but my area in Redbridge as well.
Yeah.
Memories, people that I've met, because London is just such a melting pot of cultures. That's why I kind of struggle to say East London influenced me, because it's like there's so many cultures within East London as well. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Just being in London, it's like you get bits of all over the world, I feel.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
So, like, is there any artists which inspire you daily? Because I guess there's artists where you might listen to them and get inspired, but is there any artists where, like, every day, in terms of your craft, you're trying to get to that level almost?
I love this question and I hate this question at the same
Yeah,
time.
I know what you
I
mean.
know I'm down to miss out some names and it'll piss me off. But I'll just go what I've lately been listening to, or who I've been taking in lately. Chip, that's someone that's inspired me a lot, in terms of just learning to be yourself a bit more in your music. Um, Once again, like I said, my brethren Feroz,
Mm,
his music. I've been seeing, lately it's been a lot more of my friends that have inspired me.
yeah.
So people like Rosa Velli, Dread, Feroz, so many, Hope Dealers.
To
Um,
these artists you're mentioning, what's your connection with them? Like, how do you know them? You mentioned that two of them you're in a collective named Legacy with. Are the other ones people you know from like school, university?
yeah, more time. There'll be people from like university, people that maybe I've just met on the road. Because like sometimes I'm just like that. I can start a conversation with someone I've never met before. So
Yeah.
like people that I've just met, and we just have a real love for the music, and we respect each other, not just as artists but as human beings as well. So that's how I've grown and developed that relationship with
Okay, I hear that.
them.
So, in terms of like, I know you said you can't mention projects too much, but in
Yeah.
terms of Glow in the Dark EP, yeah, I've seen you doing promo for it. Is that like still happening, or you can't even talk about that?
Like I said, I can't really talk about it. I don't even know if it's going to be called Glow in the Dark, this new
Oh yeah.
that I'm working on. So I can't say too much about it. But
Mm.
what I can say is that this project is gonna have cool sounds, and it's gonna have something for everybody. It's gonna have something for everybody. That's something I can
Do you produce yourself, or you've got like producers you work with, or type of beats?
I don't produce myself. I can, but that's another story.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's just been finding beats on YouTube. But a lot of times people ask, "Oh, do you produce, or who's your producer?" And they're surprised when I say it's beats from YouTube, because
Yeah.
I got a very specific ear and taste for music So more times when I do select a beat off of YouTube, it's not from a beat maker, it's from a producer. There's a difference
Yeah,
between.
there's definitely. Could you like outline the difference for people who are like, wait, I thought it was the same thing. Like, could you like outline what you mean between a beat maker and a producer?
Okay, whew, boy, it's weird because this is something I feel, so I don't know how to put it into words. Maybe I
Mm.
can find like some sort of analogy or something. But
Yeah.
let's say a producer, all right, let's say a beat maker,
Hmm.
um, he can buy a lot of, let's say a beat maker, he knows how to buy a lot of like clothes and then resell them to people.
Yeah.
Whereas a producer knows how to make it from scratch and knows how to tailor it to very specific people so that they find their style, if that
Yo,
makes sense.
that's a great analogy. Did you just like
Yeah.
freestyle that now?
Yeah, I had to think of that. I was gonna use like burgers or McDonald's or something, but I was like, nah, let's try and think. So that's how I can. That's the difference between a beat maker and a producer for me.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with beat makers. I'm not talking against them, but
Yeah.
for me, a producer will help you grow to where you really need to be. So producers for me, and my top producers right now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shout all of them out. Slick J Beats. I haven't met him before. I just messaged him on Insta. He has no idea how sick he is and how much he's contributed to the sound of
Yeah.
this project that I got coming up. Slick J Beats, Tom Makes Beats, and Tedious. They got a little business called the Beats Hub, which I think everyone should check out.
Okay.
Who else? There was another producer, Hargo, and his brethren Seymour. Um, and also Tez on beat as well from Enfield. He's amazing also. HM Surf, big up HM Surf as well. Sampled one of his songs for my EP.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can go on forever because there's some stuff that might not go on the EP,
Mm.
but it's still the sound of the EP. So I might just do them as singles later on or something. But yeah.
I'm quite interested in your process because the way you're talking seems you're quite like a perfectionist in the
Mm.
sense that like SoundCloud stuff is not like proper songs, more demos to you, and you've been working on this project for a while. So like, what do you think is gonna happen to make it so that your project's like to you complete? Like,
Mm. With me, the project, it's already
yeah.
complete.
Okay,
Um, the thing that's made me say it's complete is like I don't know, it's just a spirit thing. It's like in my heart, it's done. Like yeah, in my heart, it's just done. I've said everything that I've needed to say. Um, I've waited as well. That's the number one thing. I've waited. So another thing quarantine made me do is wait because I was gonna drop this EP very early, but the lockdown kind of caused a delay. But in that time of delay, I realized, oh wait, I can do this. I can add this. I can take away this. So I've had a lot of time to really think um, and live with the EP as well. So I've listened to my EP like every single night since maybe October last year. Listened to it every single night. So it's like I know I've said everything that I need to say, and yeah, that's the main thing. That's the main thing. I've said everything I need to say.
damn, I'm expecting a very pristine final piece.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna bring a lot of vibes. It's gonna be perfect for the summer. It's gonna be perfect.
Nice, nice. Oh, did we just get a date?
Yeah, hey, it could be summer this year, summer next 10 years. Who knows?
Nice, nice.
Mm.
So, what's your process in terms of working with people? Like, are you big on features? Of course, you got your like collective legacy.
Mm.
Is legacy, was it kind of made to for you guys to inspire each other or like make music together? Like, what is the thinking process behind that?
So with in terms of my process as a musician, collaborating with people and legacy,
Yeah.
um, the number one thing above talent, above skill is values. It's
Oh
values.
yes, yes.
So for me, I don't collaborate with people based off of but obviously, of course, you collaborate with people based off of sound. But if the values isn't the foundation, if that foundation isn't right with me,
Yeah,
we can't even work together, no matter how good or perfect your sound might be for me. So
yeah,
before any music, me, Feroz, and Dread, we were brethren before music, way before music. So and how those two know each other is because of me as well. They're just mutual friends with me. So we all linked up at his yard one day, and like, cause we will already have that foundational, our foundation of having the same values. It was very easy for us to make music together and to push each other. So that's what it is.
that's good. I hear you. Yeah,
Mm.
I've seen like this Ray Dalio, P Diddy's mentor, and they were talking about like, have
Bro,
you seen that?
that's
Yeah.
exactly the interview that I watched. That's
Mm,
exactly, yeah.
mm. And
You hit the target. That's
they
exactly
were
it.
talking about obviously there's so many things that are important in terms of coming into business with other people and like being value aligned on the top. So I'm not surprised you've seen that also. So like, could you go in a little bit more about these shared values that you have, that like kind of like brought you together?
Yeah. What are our values? Boy, there's so many I can just pluck. And the thing is, they're standard things, they're standard things that I think everyone should have. But one thing is just we're all in. So we're not half-hearted. We're all legacy. We're all in. There's
Yeah,
that. Um, Also, what's the word? We always have each other no matter what our situation or circumstance is. And we're always pushing each other, always communicating with each other, never getting anything twisted. Um, and just sacrifice as well, which we're gonna once legacy is really on its feet, the sacrifice part is gonna kick in a lot. Apart from that, we just I think the main thing is that we just care. That's the main thing. We care about our craft, we care about our people, we care about our future, we care about the legacy, we care about creating opportunities for people, and we care about creating good memories. So whether we're making a song that's addressing society's issues or making a song about, just letting go and having a good time, we always care. And that's the main thing.
I hear that. I hear that. That sounds powerful. Like I'm excited to see what like you guys come up with in the near future. I'm not even gonna stress myself about asking any dates. But I know it's gonna come. I know it's gonna come.
Okay.
So in terms of shows, how many have you done? Because I've seen you perform once, right? And
Yeah.
you're very sorry, you're a very charismatic performer. So
Uh,
like, are you experienced with performing? Like, did you do anything before rapping where you were on stage or?
Um, Fun fact: I used to be a b-boy, so I used
Ah,
to be a break
yeah,
dancer.
yeah.
So shout out to Gully Squad, Get Low. These are all the like breakdance crew names: Get Low Pirates, Soul Maverick. Shout out to them.
Mm,
So I think that helped a lot with stage presence. Used to do music as well. I mean, like do performances as well. But
mm.
I think that day when I was on stage performing one of my songs, Cupid's Nine, that was
Yeah.
the first time I ever performed as Just Isaiah. So the first time I ever performed.
Ah, so like before Just Isaiah, well, what was your alias or your name that you went by?
Boy,
Alias.
I had like 1,000 different names. I don't even want to say them no more.
Yeah,
Um,
in your
yeah,
past now.
yeah, just some crazy names. But
Well,
I think
what would the change?
what made me change a conversation that I had with my friend. He's a athlete for Great Britain, Jamal Marcus. We were just sitting down, and he was like, "You're trying to be like so many people, but it's like the best things about you, the things that really connect with you, are when you're being yourself. So, bro, just be yourself." So I kind of removed any kind of like prefix from Isaiah that I used to have, whether it's something Isaiah or blah blah blah, Isaiah this, Isaiah that, and it's like, okay, cool, I'm just Isaiah, and
Okay, I hear
you
you.
know, and just Isaiah as well as it's just about embracing what makes me different. Because I always tell people, when you embrace what makes you unique, that's when you flourish. So that's what being just Isaiah is all about.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that's powerful. Like talking to you now is like motivating, and it kind of pieces together everything I've heard from you from freestyles, seeing you perform live. Like,
Uh,
very excited to see what like you're coming up with, and like I've already asked what you're gonna do as soon as lockdown finishes. But like,
mm,
do you have a rough like 2 3 year plan you can share with us in terms of you as an artist?
mm. In terms of me, after lockdown, I don't even
Mm.
know when lockdown's gonna end, but
It's all up in the air.
yeah. After lockdown, I know that I got a cool competition that I got for my EP when it eventually comes out,
Okay.
and I'm gonna have to see my fans. I'm gonna have to see fans, my family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Them lot. If you connect with my music, you're family to me. So I'm gonna have to see them, and drop them some gifts, drop a couple of them some gifts.
Hey,
Gonna shoot videos. Definitely gonna got a couple video shoots. So maybe summer's nice. The weather's nice. Get a bunch of people down, start campaigning hard, and yeah, I've already spoken about shows, and I think just continue working on my sound, recording more music, developing, building that catalog. So
nice, nice. Sounds like we have like a lot to expect from you.
100%. I'm here for the long run, as Rex said. I'm here for the long run. So.
Hey, anything you want people to like be checking out, whether it's from you or your people, like in the coming months?
Mm. Um, when I start doing my thing, they'll know it's me.
Yeah.
So right now, I just want people to check out two things. I want them to check out Feroce, Handy. That's out now, available on all digital platforms, and you can
Put a
watch it.
link in your bio.
Yeah, I got the link in my bio, exactly. So on my Instagram at @YJustIsaiah, you can go watch the video. It's amazing artwork. Um, Also, New Gen Cypher. That's a movement that I started with my friend Belgium, and it's just a platform for people of all ages, all backgrounds to express themselves through dance and music. So the music side, I've been in charge of the music side, and it hasn't been active at all. But there's stuff going on behind the scenes. I'm not rushing for anybody, because can't rush something that's going to be great. It's like, if it's meant to be great, it will be great whatever time you do it. So the music side of the New Gen Cypher, watch out, we're going to shut everyone down. So
Amazing.
mhm.
Yo, you do a lot, man. Like, how do you schedule it all? Especially because you're just coming up to finishing uni as well. So you've been doing a lot while being at uni. Like, how do you schedule it?
Faith in God, that's number one always. And also um kind of like focus. I realize I'm not well, I am Superman, but sometimes I realize I function better when I just focus on one thing, and I don't rush or try to juggle too many things, because of course, with a lot of things going on, there's always pressure to deliver.
Yeah,
But I've learned how to like kind of just have faith in the process and just be like, no, that can wait. I'm just gonna focus on this, and I don't care how long it takes, because I know this is something that's gonna be worth it. So just not letting the pressure get to you. You know what I mean? So
I feel that trust your process always.
always, always.
Isaiah, it has been great like speaking to you and like getting to know you better. And you've
Good
shared
stuff.
like a lot of gems. Like
Mm.
it's good to see how much of a community man you are. And
Thank
like honestly, any way that we can give you a platform to boost what you're already doing, we happily will. And like thank you for joining us. This is our third one, and like
you.
came with a lot of energy. And I'm sure anybody who's watched it up until now is excited to hear the maneuvers you're gonna be making in the very near future,
It's gonna
or
be
maybe
crazy.
very far future. You didn't give us any dates, so we don't know.
Lot of real things to address in my verse when I'm sitting and I think about it. Like, how would they remember me? Do they see me different? Can they depend on me? I'm still the boy that was writing in secondary, inspired by the Anne Frank diary. trying to see where I fit in your biography. There's no point in a dream with no monopoly effect to correct the scenes in this metropolis. Crime rate soar like a bird from an edifice, but that don't make sense cause there's brothers on the wings. So does prison ever solve any issue or recycle the pain that was in you? These are thoughts I find hard to continue, but someone's got to do it cause nobody's got the answers. Bare people in my uni doing masters cause they don't know what to do when they graduate. Higher education became an escape from the fact you don't know who you are. I'm dealing with it today, not when I hit 31, cause that's how you act bitter when you're raising your sons, watching them become everything that you're not. Look, we're Martin Luther King, the world taking shots at my team for having dreams. They're trying to lay us out, so I cover them like seats. You're fatally mistaken if you think I've been asleep. Aye. Yo, big up One Shot, Glow in the Dark 2020, man.